Welcome to Head Wreck, that show where we talk about the things that are wrecking our heads and the things that are wrecking your heads. I am John Bird, as always, and with me, as always, is Alan Ryan. Say hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Every time,
That was
every
very,
time.
very upbeat, Alan, and I'm surprised because we have to let the guys know.
We
We have
do.
to
We
let
do.
everyone know that Alan's been poorly. So Alan has been struck down with the old COVID.
For
So
like the
that's why this
seventh
pod
time
is
or
a
something
little
like
bit
that.
late going out. So it's
Yes,
100% his fault. Because
I'm okay.
I
But
couldn't do the show without him, you know?
do you know what the new variant of COVID is called? It's called flirt.
Is it like
Yeah,
FLIRT? Is
FLIRT.
that an
Yeah,
acronym
flirt.
for something? No?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Probably
right.
means.
Okay.
Let's try and
And
figure out what flirt would stand for. Feeling low in
in
between
relation to life.
rectal throbbing. But yeah, there we go. There we go.
And so tell me, so you've been sick, so obviously that's been wrecking your head, but have you felt flirtatious with it at all in any way? Or have you just been poorly? You've been
I've been
poorly, haven't
flirtatious
you?
with
Yeah.
myself.
You've been,
Flirtatious with myself,
I
maybe.
yes, well, let's just say you've obviously been self-contained in your apartment, so you've had a lot of time to spend with yourself and get to know yourself. And did you get to know yourself very well? That's what all of our
Yeah.
listeners want to know.
Yeah, and the problem is, unfortunately, I can't move out. I'm stuck with myself.
And that is that. Honestly, if I could edit in a
I'm
tumbleweed
flirting
sound
with you.
there.
That's why.
I
I
I
am
know.
still coughing a little bit,
There's
so
a
I do
there's gonna
apologize.
yeah, there'll be the odd cough, I think, in this. But look, he's
But
alive
why do you hold
and
my
he's
balls
talking.
every time I cough, though?
I don't know why do I hold your balls? Well, I mean,
Yeah, this is
sure, it's a bit
normal
of
now. I think it is, isn't it?
yeah, it's what you do. It's what you do. We learned it in school, didn't we?
Yeah,
Years
yeah.
ago.
The old Christian
Yeah,
brothers. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They showed us how to
yeah.
do it. Yeah, so your head's been pretty wrecked with that, to be honest,
It has
which
indeed.
and I
It has
hate it
indeed.
because I mean, I don't know how many times have you had it? I've only had
I think
COVID
it's my fifth time.
once,
I
I think.
think it was my fifth time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
And do you know what
horrible.
the funny thing is? I mentioned this before, how I don't get public transport because every time I get public transport, I end up getting COVID. So I was on the bus for the first time this year 2 Wednesdays ago, and I've been sick ever since. I picked up COVID from being. It has to be from the scummy peasants in Dublin bus. It has to be what it is.
Wowzers. All the ones that
Mm.
are using the
Listening to us right
Dublin
now, probably.
the Dublin portal as well, is it? Yeah.
The Dublin Port. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
what it
Look,
was. Yeah, yeah. They should have called it the Dublin Hoop. That would be a much better name rather than the Dublin Portal.
yeah. But then you see, if you call it the Dublin hoop, then they would call it the hoop into something, and I can't think of something that would rhyme. Hoop in the
We'd have it a scoop in
hoop.
the hoop.
A
That's what we
scoop,
call
have a
it.
scoop in front of the
I
hoop.
think
Yeah. Well, I'm
scoop at
glad
the
you're
hoop.
better, Alan. I'm
Thank you.
glad you're better, but I'm sure
Nearly,
you're
nearly.
nearly better. I'm sure you have something that you can kick off. There must have been something that wrecked your head in the time you had to sit in your confined space, isolating all by yourself. What annoyed you
There
the most?
is. There is. But what is annoying me right now is the fact that you always forget to tell people where they can follow us on our social media
I was
at
just
head
about
underscore
to,
rect.
as you,
Mm-hmm.
as you were
Mm-hmm.
about to start talking, I
Mm-hmm.
was just about to tell them. So, Alan, where can people find us?
They can find me in the bushes outside their houses, but if they want to
Coughing
follow us
up,
on social media,
coughing up a
coughing,
lung.
yeah, 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 I can't hide anymore. Like it's a someone outside. I can't. I don't know if that coughing came out.
Your
Hopefully it
peeping
did.
Tom days are over.
Well, I wouldn't say over. It's just more difficult. You know what? Out of my comfort zone for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, to answer your question, they can follow us on head underscore rect on all the usual social media outlets.
Yes,
Outlets. Outlets.
outlets. Yeah, let's call them outlets. And
Mediums.
you can send us an email at the lads at headrec.com, and you can also send us messages on the Q&A section of Spotify. If you're listening to this now on Spotify, you'll see Q&A, and you can tell us exactly what's wrecking your head. Any topics we talk about today, you
Absolutely.
can tell us about them as well if they've happened to you.
No matter where you are in the world, with other people we're a global sensation. We are absolutely a global sensation.
I
I
think
feel
people are
sorry
sick
for
of
those
hearing that.
people who people think that we are ultimately the voice of Ireland. Remember
We
that program, The Voice of Ireland? Remember that program, The Voice
as
of
in
Ireland?
like the X Factor kind of the
Yeah, 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 yeah,
voting, see how
yeah,
shite you are singing, and we'll
yeah.
tell you how shite you are kind of thing. Yeah, I do remember. I didn't really watch it though. But come here,
No, it was
tell me
fairly
what's been
terrible.
wrecking your head on. I'm dying to know because I haven't had time like that alone by myself in a long time. You've had like a week. So what's happening?
So something that actually happened today and a really, really wrecks me. It's happened previously, but it actually happened today. So I was expecting a delivery today, right? Expecting a
Okay.
delivery from the post person. I'm not going to say postman because whatever, the post it
Well, mine
from
is a
from
postman, so I can say a postman, I think. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know what mine is. Mine's the post van. Technically, I never see who
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
But I was getting a package delivered, and I hadn't heard anything. So I went down to my letterbox. I'm in an apartment block, so all the letterboxes are down by the main front door. So I wandered down. I went, oh, why is my letterbox open? My letterbox broke like 3 years ago, so it kind of hangs down as someone opens it.
Yeah.
That's what she said. And there was a leaflet in it going, sorry, we missed you. You have to come down and collect the parcel. I was like, bullshit. I was home. I've been home for the last week. Of any
Yeah.
time in
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
I've never been more home in the last couple
Yeah.
of days
Yeah.
than I have. So I had to go down and get it. I had to go down and ultimately get it today. But
Yeah.
going, why didn't you bring it with? Now it was a fairly large package again. That's what she said. Um, but I'm on a roll here.
It's very
Yeah,
obvious that Alan has been alone by himself, not being able to say these jokes for quite some
yeah,
time.
yeah. The point, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be there just sitting in the at 2 a.m. going, that's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said to myself. But that wrecked my head. The simple fact that I now had to go out of my way and sit in peak traffic because you have to wait until like 5 o'clock before you can
Mm,
go and collect
yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
I had to go and collect it because I know we don't collect it now. It's gonna be there until tomorrow, and I know it could go tomorrow. But I want a dopamine hit of getting my package now. Do you
So
know the
is
way I
the
want to go and get
argument
it?
that they didn't try and bring it, they just
Yeah,
left the
absolutely.
leaflet? They didn't try and bring,
Just
yeah,
left it
I know.
there.
I've been there
And it
before.
said there was no answer. It's like maybe you fucking knocked. There would have been an answer.
Yeah. Or ring the doorbell or yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been here. Do you know the way? And that's not the first time that's happened. Now, look, I can get it if it's a very, very large parcel and they can't bring it. So the poor old guy on his bicycle cycling down with a huge big package.
Yes.
I get that, but they also have the vans, and the vans are there to drive around. But at least don't lie in it, going, "Hey, listen, you have to come and collect. It's too big for us to deliver. Can you come and collect it?" I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough." But we've paid for postage.
But
Postage
can
now
you
going to bring it.
imagine it just said, now, if there was a note, a little post-it inside your letterbox saying, hi, Alan, this is your postman. Your package is too big to bring, so come and get it yourself. You'd be equally as annoyed. You'd be
Yeah.
like, are you
Well,
having a laugh?
it's like Unpuss. So Unpuss is the name of our postal service here in Ireland. It's like they're like the Ryanair
Which is
postal
Irish for
services.
the post.
Yeah, exactly. It's Irish for there is no the Irish for post is pust. We
Yeah.
just pronounce it slightly
Yeah. Yeah.
differently. Uh, but they're like the Ryanair delivery service. Like we'll deliver the package close to where you actually want to go.
Yes, you have to
And you
travel
have
to
to
get it.
make yeah, you have to make get the
That's a
journey between
really
there.
good comparison. I like that. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, no, so it's like going, if I didn't drive now, I'd have to get the bus. And I know I was saying this to somebody else recently. They said it was a 2 hour round trip for them to go to the local sorting office, I think what it was called. So that's longer than it take. I'm going to fly to Paris, but I've landed in Beauvais. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
That's the gist of it. Yeah,
Oh,
so
and
yeah,
I'd say, and because you've
annoyed
been
me.
cooped up, you're waiting for this parcel, and then it never arrived. You'd go get it yourself, and oh, but you're
Yeah,
look. Listen, do you have
I
it?
got a day out.
You
Day
have it.
out
You
of it
got it
now.
there.
I'll be fine.
Maybe
Yeah.
the postman knew you were poorly, and he saw you through the window and thought he's a bit pale looking. He needs to
Going
get
to
out
town
here.
on myself, probably
Yeah,
looking through the
yeah.
window. You've been home alone. He's like, I'm not going near you.
Oh,
Obviously,
oh, yes. I
that's
have
the
had that
joke.
happen
He
to
need a
me.
ladder to look in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had that happen to me, and where stuff is
Someone's
like
looking in your
I've delivered
windows,
it. Yeah,
watching you
yeah.
go to
No,
town on
where someone
yourself.
had a ladder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, no, that is actually really annoying. But
It's
look,
just so
there's obviously a
frustrating.
reason for it. Look, if they're very busy, sure. Look, what did it cost you going and getting it yourself? Sure, wasn't it half the fun?
Well, we got 6 minutes of a podcast out of it, so I think that's
That's
probably
true.
a fair value.
That
Like
is
in
true.
fairness, now it was quite large. It was like 4 foot by 2 foot. So I
Are you
kind of
allowed
get
to
the
say what you're
so
getting?
sorry
Because that's quite a
for
large
our American
parcel.
listeners. Hang on, I need to clarify for American listeners. 4 foot by 2 foot is like 26 rats by 16
No,
parakeets in
no,
size.
it is 1/8 of a Ford Raptor wheel
Yeah,
diameter.
yeah, yeah. It's three alligator heads.
Oh, they're gonna kill us. Oh, the Americans are gonna kill us. Yes, that is really annoying. And while you were off in your bedroom going to town on yourself, sick with COVID, I had a day out, Alan, and I had a day out in
You
a
got
local.
married?
No, I had a day out.
That's what it
It
means.
was a nice weekend there, the weekend just gone, and I had a day
It was
out.
a lovely
And
weekend.
but something really got to me on the day out was, and it actually had nothing to do with the day out, it just spurred it on. So I saw loads of for sale properties. So the whole
Sure.
millions of houses for sale again, right? They're all for
Mhm.
sale and they're costing an absolute fortune. And some of them were so
Sure.
nice. It was by the sea and they were gorgeous.
Sure. Yeah.
But that term, and it was popping up on all the for sale signs, was property ladder. And I know that term, property ladder, it's like join the
But
property ladder, get on, buy this house to get on the property ladder.
I'm
What
not trying to
is
get on
it?
a property ladder. I just want a property. I don't want to go
No,
up a ladder.
exactly. But that's the problem. Everyone's calling it this ladder. Like when the boom was in years ago, it was the property ladder. Get on it. And then this can be your starter home for your property
But,
ladder.
but
It's
it's my
such
forever home. So
absolutely
expensive.
the same as the one I bought now. This is my forever home. But this property ladder, as if it's this never ending steps of ladders and houses that you have to keep on buying. I absolutely can't stand it. And I think it should be banned. Let's get hashtag ban the property ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. It's
We know
ridiculous.
ladders.
People want
We'll
to
call it
get
the
on a
property lift.
property front door step. Never mind a fucking ladder of buying
I,
more houses. No, there's not enough for everyone. Let everyone have one. That's enough. No, but it's wrong though, isn't it? It's
I
it's
agree.
but
It's like
it's undue
this house is
pressure
kind
on
of shit.
people.
You don't want to live here for the rest of your life. So buy this one and live here for a
Yeah,
couple of years
buy
until you
this
can buy
really
another one.
shit cheap house that
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
costs in the region of upwards of 400,000 or 500,000, which is out of people's range anyway. And this is your starter home. That's another. So property ladder and starter home cannot stand. And that's what I was seeing all over the coast. And these were coastal houses. Like typically a coastal house is not a house that someone buys to live in. It's their holiday home.
Sure, yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of
I
people
mean, do
have a
people still buy holiday
small,
homes?
well, maybe not anymore, but typically years ago, that would have been it. And these are like the property ladder starter homes that cost the price of a normal home that you live in. Anyway, that's what wrecked my head. I had a great day out, but it did irk me a little bit seeing this property ladder starter home bullshit.
But if they're all for sale, where are these people moving to?
Yeah, I
Do you
don't
know,
know.
like if maybe they're moving up the property ladder. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe they're not people. Maybe they're these vulture funds that are coming in and just buying loads of properties and not letting anyone live in them, so that the price of
Like in
houses go up
fairness, now I
exponentially.
have enough. I have enough money to probably start a pigeon fund rather than a vulture fund. I'd be lucky to get any form of money to buy anything at this point in time.
No,
Yeah,
I
but such a
know.
weird
I know. Well,
name, vulture fund.
that's exactly what I mean. So I'm lucky enough to have a house now, right? And I
Mhm.
understand how lucky I am. I really
Mhm.
do.
You bought at a
You're
great time, in fairness, if I
I
remember
did,
correctly.
and you want to buy a house now, and you understand, even if you were in a salary in the hundreds of thousands, you would still find it difficult to buy a house.
Yeah,
You
I
would,
think it's.
which is absolutely ridiculous.
I think they're saying is to buy a house in Dublin, you need a salary of a minimum of 110,000 to buy something. 100, so that's going to be aimed towards two people. But again, how many people? Like that's basically going is if
No,
you want to buy a house, you need to find someone to buy a house
but
with.
that's
That's
a
fair.
lot, and that's going to be probably after tax as well, and all that kind of thing. Like, I mean, anyway, look, that's what annoyed me. It ruined a grand day out.
Were they,
So it did.
were they nice houses though? And did you have a good day out
No, but
besides for that?
they were small houses by the sea.
They're
Like a
not family
typical,
houses. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but irrelevant. It doesn't matter if for example, you saw one of them and it's in your price range. That's nothing to do with property ladder or start home. That's your house that you want to buy and live in
Yeah.
forever. Anyway, there you go. Totally brought the mood of the podcast down, but I think it needs to be said: fuck the property ladders and the starter homes. Just buy the house.
And the vulture
Let people buy
funds.
the house they want, and the vulture funds. They're all a
Absolutely.
shower of
Absolutely. I agree.
bastards.
I agree.
They
I
are.
agree.
There you
I
go.
agree. There we go. There we go.
So another thing.
Sure, go for it. You have a list of a rant. That's
I
okay. That's
do,
okay.
I do, I do. Well, you see, you probably have consumed yourself in your head and you've forgotten these things that wrecked your head. I've been
Oh
holding
no,
on to
no,
them.
no.
Okay,
No, I write them down. I write them
okay.
down.
Well, I wrote one down, and it is mullets. Okay. Now, I recently went. I was recently in the hairdresser, and all I
Is this
think
the
of.
one in Dundrum where you lie down on the bed and you
No,
get
no, no, no,
massage and
no, no,
six
no.
men stand over you with their
I
cocks out?
wish it
That
was the
one.
one where you get sweaty and get a head massage and
The Bukaki barbers, that one.
yes, it was something like that. Yes, if you want to know what we're talking about, I think the
15,
title
maybe
of that
16?
podcast was "Sweaty Haircuts" or something. I can't remember, but it's
Yeah.
all about getting a haircut in your back and arse cracker sweating, and you leave a patch on the leather seat. So there you go, fun times. Breakfast radio. Um, Mullets. When did mullets become the fashion? I have hands up. I've never
Are
had.
they?
Yes, I've never had a mullet. I remember in the 80s and 90s, the only person I knew who had a mullet on TV was what's it, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. Then when it
Oh
came
yeah.
to watching Neighbours and Home and Away, most of the lads in Home and Away and Neighbours, for any of our non-Home and Away and Neighbours knowing listeners,
I think people know them.
they're Australian soaps, which are brilliant, daytime shite.
And just to
They
clarify,
all have
soap you
moments.
mean is soap operas, not actual cleaning items.
No,
It'd be
but
a
no,
real
but
good name for a soap, an actual soap. I'd call it Neighbours or something. Or
well,
Home and Away. Makes you smell good. Home and
yeah,
Away.
there's a good marketing plan around that
You
actually, isn't
know
there?
we belong together, you and I forever and ever, washing our pits. We don't smell like shit. Home and Away soap.
So they're semi lyrics of Home and Away, the Home and Away intro. It's
No, they
funny
were
that you brought up
95% of the
and
lyrics.
soap operas because I actually had on my list about hamster soap. I was sent a text. Um,
Do you see hamster soap
hamster
for
soap.
washing
I was
hamsters?
sent a text that said hamster soap, and it was a bar of soap with loads of hair on it. Don't know, and it's
Oh,
colloquially called hamster soap because of the hairs, and I don't know if it's pubes or
oh,
facial. But I do have a beard, so I know that I ever use soap or anything like
yeah.
that. Beard hair looks like pubes. Okay,
No, I
collectively
get that. Yeah, yeah, I
as
get that. Yeah,
hamster
yeah.
soap. So I've said the hamster soap thing. It's a head wrecking. But yes,
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get
mullets,
to the mankiness of that. Yeah.
mullets.
But
There was a
are they in
guy getting a mullet.
fashion?
Now he had a big head of hair, right? Now
How old
I
was he?
don't. Oh, he had a school uniform on, so but it was in maybe 17, 18. So he had a big moppy head of hair on, and he was getting the sides shaved right, like number one or number two or zero, whatever, all on the sides, and it was long on the back. It
So
was screaming 80s
what
to
I'm
me. And
thinking
I
here,
don't get it. I don't
you
understand how
know,
it comes back.
I like to try and figure things out. Unless he's in sixth year, he's about to do his leaving cert, or he's going to have his what's it called, the prom, the what's it called, the
Oh,
graduation.
the
So unless him
graduation
and all his
debs, yeah.
mates decide to get mullets done for it,
Maybe, but then you would have seen more of them there. No, but I've seen other kids with mullets. Maybe it's not a
why
Dublin
are
thing.
you
Maybe it's a.
watching kids
I'm not watching kids, but
getting
obviously
their
you
hair
see
cut?
them. You're like, what is going on with that mullet haircut?
I don't think
It's
no.
it's
I've
just
never
very
seen it.
80s. I mean, is it great that it's back? I mean, I'm not a fashion person by any means, so like each
It
their
did
own, do
suit some
whatever.
people though.
But when you see it, it just looks weird to me.
And did they have the little rat's tail at the end as well?
Yeah, it's kind of long. It is. It's pure Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon mullet we're talking about. Only shaved even more on the sides. I mean, fair play to them. If he looked like Mel Gibson, I'd be like, he must be related. There you go. There's mullets for me. It just wrecks my head a little bit because I
He's from
just,
Australia as well, funny
yeah,
enough, when you mentioned about
he could
Australian
have been
soaps. There we
Australian,
go.
to be fair. And I don't even know if it's called a mullet anymore. Maybe people listening to this can tell me why are the mullets back and is it called a mullet? And why is it back? Those
Yeah,
three things.
but is it back? I mean, realistically, I know you've seen a couple of people, but I sure just wasn't the same kid you've seen like six times.
Maybe it's a thing in a school. I don't know. Maybe it is. Like you're saying, a thing they did. I don't know. But it caught me by surprise. Just like the property ladders, the mullet
Yeah,
caught me by surprise. And I kind of wrecked my head a bit going, this can't be back. Next, it'll be shell tracksuits. It'll be
I
what?
know. Yeah, that's okay. I'm
Ex-
okay with that. I get 90s fashion. I think 90s fashion works really, really well,
Yeah, but would you,
but
okay,
not in
would you,
everyone.
and you do, and I can see you in it because I've seen you like when we've gone to festivals and stuff. I mean, that's kind of shite you wear as well. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
mean
yeah.
shite. You
That's the
kind of wear
reason why.
whatever's
Yeah, yeah,
comfortable,
absolutely.
whatever. But would you wear a mullet then?
You
Would you
don't
have a
wear a
mullet?
mullet. You grow a mullet. I
No,
think I'm going
no,
to get a
you
mullet
wear a
wig.
mullet. You wear a mullet. They
I
are
have the
they're
hair for it. In
placed on the
fairness,
head. You do have the
I do
hair
have the
for it.
hair for it.
Yeah, you're kind of like
Like
me. You peak in the middle. You have this like Alan's little nod when I said peak in the middle.
Robin Thick hair. Do you know
No,
the way?
you
That's
have
why I'd say it.
a natural mohawk kind of in the middle, like I do.
Do you
Although
know? I kind of
yours
look like
looks
Johnny
very
Bravo
a
a little
lot
bit at
more
the moment.
distinguished because you got that good salt and pepper thing. For anyone who
I
hasn't
do.
seen what Alan looks like properly, perhaps we should put pictures of Alan. Alan's got a lovely salt and pepper hairdo, and he kind of quiffs, not a quiff, but he kind of brushes it
Queefs.
back on.
He
He kind
queefs.
of queefs a little bit as he walks. He's got a little quiff on the front. Very distinguished. Women go crazy for it, and the men apparently.
You know,
So
mainly
there you
you
go.
looking at kids with mullets, but you're like, that's a
Well,
whole other
look, you
conversation.
gotta have a pastime. What's wrecking your head, Alan? What else is wrecking your head?
So, something that's been wrecking my head for many years, and it's two words. And I
Right.
feel like we've spoken about this before, but not in this context. Dog shit. Specifically dog. We spoke about shit before,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
specifically
yeah.
dog shit.
Again, we
Clean up
cannot
after
get
you.
past a podcast without Alan
No,
bringing up shit. Okay,
and it's
go on.
specifically dog shit.
Okay, yeah.
People just don't tidy up after themselves, and it's it's you step on it and you slide for about a foot along the ground, like you're
Yeah.
going really badly ice skating, like Bambi on ice. And then the problem is the smell of it. It's like you release toxins the moment you step on it,
It's
and it's
horrendous. Cat
venomous,
shit's actually worse, but you
venomous.
don't really step on cat shit, but dog shit is horrendous. And we did talk
It's
about this
everywhere.
because I talked about when I had to bring a trimmer back when I stood in dog shit and it was in the heat. And then somebody, one of our fans
This is a garden
commented,
trimmer, just to
a
clarify,
garden trimmer. Yeah,
not
I
a
was doing
hamster
some
soap trimmer.
bush trimming. And one of our ever listened to listeners, Mr. McGuinness, I believe you know him, Alan.
I
He
do
uh,
indeed.
he um
Hello.
yes, hello, Mr. McGuinness. He commented on the fact that it was penance. My standing in dog shit was penance for him taking the piss out of him smuggling or
Oh,
buying,
that's right.
pre-ordering
I remember that now. I
popcorn
remember you
at
saying that.
the cinema. Yeah.
But
So if you had to, so listen back in a couple of podcasts, you know what we're talking about there.
But like for me, it's going like I live in a housing estate, I suppose, is what you don't call it, and people just don't clean up after their dogs, and it's in the most it's an obvious dog shit, but some of them now I'm going to go, is it actually a dog shit? Am I going to look at a 4 a.m. and see some fella down on a I see on all
Some
fours,
of them
but
are so
squatting?
big, and that's why you're
Horse
like, I
shit.
know that's a human. That's a human has had a dump there,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like you see the dog picking up in a bag then after the owner goes for shit. But something I wanted to add to this, though, okay,
Okay.
is you see the people walking around with their dog that have a pre-filled bag of shit with them. I'm going, like, they're only gone out. I'm going, it's convenient that they have this bag of shit very early on the walk. Have they taken a shit at home in a bag to make it look like they've cleaned up their
Yeah, have
dog
they
shit?
just got something in it to make it look like they've cleaned one up? Yeah, maybe I'd
Yeah,
say
a bit
there
of
are people who do
a
that.
chocolate
Yeah,
muffin.
yeah. But I have to say, like my dog, we two dogs. He's a bigger dog. When I bring him, sometimes he gets so excited that the middle minute we get onto the footpath, he has a mega dump. So I'm like walking for the rest of the journey with a bag of shit.
You're bringing a bag of shit for a
I'm
walk,
bringing a
literally
bag of
what you're
shit
doing.
with me till I get to the poo bin thing.
So do you have poo bins around by you? There's no poo bins here, so
Oh,
people have
it's
to bring
brilliant.
them
Yeah,
home.
we have poo bins and they have the poo bags on them. So you take one, you dump one in, you dump a full one in and take an empty poo bag.
Would you
Brilliant.
ever feel like putting it through one of your neighbor's letterboxes who you dislike?
Never. It's never occurred to me once.
But now that
I'll
it
talk to
has,
you about it later.
yeah, yeah. Do you remember that? I don't know if you ever did this. This is the thing. I'm going to say the 80s. I'm sure it was after that as well as where people put dog shit in a brown bag, let it on, and set it
Yeah,
on fire,
I've
and then like
never
person's
done.
door.
I've only
No,
ever
is it an
seen that
American
being
thing?
done on American TV and shows. And to be honest, right, what was I? I was watching something recently, and that happened on it. It was some kid show or something I was watching
Wow,
with
what's
my
with you with
son.
kids and kid shows?
No,
Okay,
because I
thank you
was
for
watching
clarifying
with my
that.
child, and they did
Looking for
that.
the
And
mullets.
my first thought, no, it wasn't. I tell you, it was a movie. It was Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I've never seen it, but I
It's on
know it.
Netflix. Anyway, there you go. I was watching that, and someone did that poo in a bag, and I'm like, why would you go out and stamp it out? It's just a tiny little bag that's on fire. Just let it burn. Just let it burn. It's fine. It's on a footpath. It's grand.
But
Um,
maybe it's the shock of opening the door.
but you know what's different about nowadays is filling a bag full of poo and setting a light. Is
You
poo
have to pay 22 cents for the
yeah,
bag, firstly.
yeah, is the
People don't
bag
do it
tax.
anymore.
The bag
Yeah,
tax.
like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sake.
No, it's poos aren't the same as they used to be, Alan. They're not the
You mean
same.
dog? You mean dog? Yeah, they
Dog
used to be
poos.
dried and white.
They
You
used to
think it
be
was a
dry and
rock?
white because of all the calcium in bones, and now they're not eating bones, and now it's just
Oh, is that the reason why?
that's why it's the calcium. And I know this for a fact. And if someone wants to criticize and say I'm wrong, please do because I want to hear it. But from my own personal experience, we give our dog treats, has a normal poo. We
Sure.
get the dog a bone, like the bones you buy in a shopping center, that's a actual proper bone with calcium and all that kind of thing in it. They have a dry, white, chalky shite. That's what they have.
So,
And it's
so
really hard to
I
pick up because it just crumbles
it
in your
crumbles.
hand.
I thought that was just like I wouldn't say petrified, which means scared, but it's the same idea.
Yes,
It's the
petrified.
correct word. It is the correct
Yeah, I
word.
know what you
I
mean.
wonder,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I know
Mummified.
it's just a dried out, yeah, mummified,
No, I
wrapped
think
in
it's
bandage.
and you know what?
But why
They're
don't we
probably the
shit
best
white
ones.
then? If we ate like 12 yogurts, would our shit come out white? Full of
No,
calcium.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's try it.
Okay, if
Hey,
any of our
listeners, if
listeners
you can
want to
take, yeah,
try this
yeah,
experiment,
calcium tablets, take lots of them. Please don't do this. We're only joking. We are not liable for anyone damaging or hurting themselves. I mean,
um,
because you'll get calcification and you'll die. Calcium, what a shitty way, no pun intended, way to go.
oh, I
Calcium
know.
overdose.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, look, at least your bones would be your skeleton will look great.
But the actual opposite can happen. My understanding is if you take too much calcium, your bones become brittle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I've
apparently
never
so.
heard
Yeah,
of
there's
that.
something
Yeah.
weird that if you're over calciumized, that's a verb if ever I made one up. It's actually more dangerous for your bones. Yeah.
Oh, Alan, not speaking of that whatsoever. I just thought, so do you remember I was saying to you and all our listeners that I was going to try Yellow Belly beer?
Yes.
Okay, couldn't find it anywhere. Right.
Okay.
But I did get to try a Guinness, thanks to an invitation from a listener. He invited me to have a Guinness with him, and I did. And I
Now,
have the
this
picture
is a
proof to prove it.
two-man show.
But
I'm just going to clarify
the,
this. This is a two-man show. You got the invite,
I
and
got
I
the invite.
didn't.
Yes, and in the last one, I was someone was talking
Mhm.
specifically to me as well. Look, I mean, thank you
Anyway,
everyone. I'm really feeling the love. I was invited out for a pint, and I'm getting emails directed to me. So thank you so much. Keep them coming.
and you're not even the good-looking one, I
I
guess. That's the
love you.
thing.
I'm not even the good looking one. That's the thing. Um, but I had it. But the funny thing is, the glass I used, it was a can of Guinness in a yellow belly beer glass. There you go. So it was a can. It wasn't a pint. It was a
Okay,
pint from a
so
can. So it was a mixture of
you need
everything.
to be
I'll post the
careful with
picture
this.
anyway. So eventually I will try and have a yellow belly beer from a yellow belly glass when I can
I would
find
just,
the yellow belly beer.
I would like to apologize to all our avid Guinness drinkers. You
Oh, it
don't
looks
Guinness has to
horrendous,
be
by the way. Can I
Yeah,
just say it looks so bad?
you need to post that
Exactly how
up. You need
you
to post
think
if you
it's
took the
going to
pictures.
look, that's how it looks.
It has to be in a Guinness glass. Has to
I
be in a
know it
Guinness
does. I
glass.
know it's
It's
sacrilegious.
sacrilegious. Sacrilegious?
Sacrilegious, sacrilegious. Yeah.
Sacrilegious? Sacrilegious? Sacrilegious?
Well, it was delicious, so it was sacrilegious.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jesus
So there you
Christ.
go. So I kind of got to have the, but look, I will revert back.
So that
So
wrecks my head. I'm gonna associate it.
right,
That wrecked my
people
head is
people
the
not
wrong
using the
drink in
proper.
the wrong
Yeah. No,
glass.
and you know what? I have to agree with you. The wrong drink. It's
Or the
tolerable.
right drink in the wrong glass, I suppose.
Yeah,
Right, wrong drink in the
it's
glass.
tolerable on a busy night out when you know glasses are rare in a pub, for example. It's
Is it
still
though?
not right, but it's like, okay, well, at least I got a pint. But when it's a really bad glass, as in like the proper craft beer, gla-
Yeah, yeah.
craft beer glass, it's like an old world goblet kind of a thing, and you're drinking like, I don't know, a Coors Light from it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Or a
no,
Ritz,
exactly.
and a
Yeah.
Ritz
And a
from a
Ritz,
goblet.
Jesus Christ. But no, but even the same as like even long drinks when you get something like a gin and tonic or a gin and tonic is going in a weird glass. It needs to be like for me, it
Mm.
needs to be in the bowl, whatever the proper
I
gin and
don't
tonic
like
glass.
those ones. I find them too,
Not.
here's a word for you. I find them too ostentatious.
Oh,
I just want to drink a gin and tonic. The
in a
glass can
tall
be a little
glass.
bit fancy, like a Slim Jim glass. That's fine. It's a normal glass, but the big ones that look like a
I
Welsh
want to call it a pieball
press,
glass, but I
it's a
think that's
Welsh,
wrong.
a piebald glass, as in like a horse, a black and white
I
horse.
think it's yeah, in my
Mm,
head it's something called a
no,
pieball glass. In my head it's something because no pieball is a horse. So I don't know. I don't know. I could be completely
I don't
wrong
know.
in that, and I may have
Well,
just offended a
no,
lot of
I
people.
think
But yeah,
what you're thinking is when you drink from those glasses, you get the trots. That's what it is. That's what you're thinking,
yeah, yeah,
piebald.
yeah, 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 yeah. You
Yes,
horsed it into you, huh?
a drink you want from the wrong glass, it isn't right, and it's all you can focus on. And that's all I could focus on drinking the Guinness was this glass. So,
It's
God
like
damn you, listener! Unless you have the right beer and the right
absolutely.
glass,
I have
we're
all
not
the right
doing it
glasses
again.
here.
And I know you can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
this.
But it's like the same as going. If you drink like a bottle of Seven Up or Coke or something like Coca Cola, because apparently only Irish people call it Coke. Outside of Ireland, it's called Coca Cola
Really?
everywhere else.
Did I not call it
Apparently so,
Coke?
yeah. No, apparently
Really?
not. Apparently not.
So
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, if I go to America and I'm like,
You're
"Have you got
away
any
soon.
coke?" You're literally asking for cocaine.
Coke. Oh, actually, I wonder if American might be all right because they call it Diet Coke break. But like, if you're going
Oh,
like
yeah,
Spain, you say Coca-Cola.
really? Oh,
I
well, I
know what you
wouldn't.
mean by Coke because you used to
Yeah,
toast
yeah,
it anyway.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
But what I was going to say, what really
Interesting.
annoys me sometimes though is and wrecks my head is if you take the label off one of those like a 500 ml bottles, no, the ones that you drink, they just look scummy.
Yeah,
They just
and you
you
won't get your
feel
money
it.
back. You won't be able to put it into the
Oh, does the
return
label
vending
need to be
machines
on
because you
it?
need your label on it. You need the label on it to get your bottle, your money back,
Do
your
you?
deposit. You do. You absolutely do.
I
But
wouldn't have was aware
yeah,
of that.
it's yeah, yeah. Backwash and Coke. I don't drink Coke. I don't drink fizzy
Do you
sugar
not at all?
drinks. No, no, fizzy water and still water. I don't. I find them too sweet. I used to love Sidona, an apple flavored fizzy drink, and Seven Up like Sprite years ago, and now I just find them too sweet. I can't drink them. No, that wrecks my head a little bit because sometimes on a really hot day you just want something like that. You just want a mouthful, and
They
then
just
you're stuck
drink
with a
it.
bottle of sugar. No, no, too much, too much. Not for
This
me.
is a very old man, boring conversation we're having now.
It is, and
God,
that's what
these are
happens
they're
when you're
too bubbly.
cooped
They're
up.
too bubbly.
Yeah, you're in the room.
No, you're the one who's raised all this, not me.
I'm
Not
trying to
me.
deflect here. I know. I realize I'm being really grumpy. Speaking of old man, right?
Right, go
So
on.
here, this is again, it's another bit of a rant. So, it's coming into summer. What's on your mind? Having a summer body, and you can't help but pander to the pressure that you feel of having to try maybe and look good. You know, you're maybe going to be going on holidays or going to the beach. Want to
Sure.
look a little bit better than my age, which is mid 40s, which is very depressing, you know, and I can't fight it, but I'm trying to. So here I am scrolling through social media and I see this app that is great for men my age because they obviously know
Calisthenics.
it was that. And then I didn't click on the calisthenics. I saw that because I actually looked like too much effort, if I'm honest. It was chair yoga, right?
I was
Now,
seeing that. I
yeah,
see those ads
right. I'm
on
so,
Instagram.
yeah, I
It's
know.
the guy with the perfect combed over grey hair and the big
Yes.
white beard,
Yeah.
and he's ripped. He's a good
He
looking
is
man,
ripped.
and he look,
Yeah,
yeah.
he is ripped. So I'm glad they're hitting their target market, which is our age demographic, Alan, which is brilliant. But so I went, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'll have a look because surely it's you're sitting down doing it. You don't need to be at the gym. You don't need weight shit like that. I'll give it a go. So I clicked on it, brought me to the app, downloaded the app, and I was like, oh, brilliant! This is fantastic. Fill in some of your details. You know, your weight, your height.
Mhm.
You know, have blah blah blah. And I'm not joking, it was 15 minutes of filling this in. I was like, fucking brilliant. And then let's go. Give me here's your plan. Let's go. Paywall. I was like, fuck
I hate that.
off with your
We'll give
paywall.
you seven
And I'm
days free trial and then 40
no,
quid a
no,
month
there
after
wasn't
that.
even
No,
that. And this
nothing.
is after 50 minutes, and I'm not lying. I had to Google my weight conversion from pounds to kilos because I have no
Oh, okay,
idea.
no, no, no,
I
okay,
had
no, no,
to
okay.
Google my height from feet to inches
No,
or
from alligator
from what.
heads to
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, but I was like, I don't know what the conversion is. It's
sure,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I'm on the metric system, not the whatever the imperial or whatever. So I had to do all of that. So I was flicking in and out. Yeah, it was so annoying. And I know this is really ranty and bitchy, but just then to be hit by the paywall. And I was
I
like,
no,
no,
I
I'm
get that.
sorry. No fucking way.
Yeah,
If it had it said the trial, I would have logged in,
yeah.
downloaded whatever
30
the thing is.
days.
Yeah.
See
No,
you
but there was
go.
none of
So
that. And it
done, yeah,
really pissed me off. That
yeah.
really pissed. And I knew it was coming, but then it went on
But they
for
have
so
all your
long.
details now. They have all your details, and that's the problem.
No, I've already
Remember, you
marked it as
mentioned
spam. I've
previously,
marked it as spam already. So I got an
but
email.
yeah,
Oh, you need to
yeah, sure.
finish. Blah. And I went, Mark, spam. No, sorry, done. But now I'm bombarded by the ads. Now the ads won't
Yeah,
fuck off because I've clicked on the ad. It's my own fault. I'm
yeah.
really annoyed with myself.
You can change if you go into your social media settings. You can change ads, you have pages you've interacted with, and switch them off.
Really. There you
Yeah,
go. You heard
I
it
do that
here,
regularly.
folks. And for us who don't know anything about social media, it's a learning day. I learned that you can turn that off.
And if
There
you
you go.
don't know anything about, if you don't know anything about social media,
Don't learn from us.
have a look at head_rec. That tells you all the tips and tricks.
Yes.
Yes, it doesn't tell you anything, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, paywall. I
yeah.
get a
Oh, I get
paywall,
that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Paywalls exist, and I'm not stupid.
Or
And I
watching
felt like a
ads.
chump, but it's just because it went on so long that I was like, oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah.
is
I
this
get that.
actually one that is going to be
Yeah.
free? Wow.
Well,
No.
I would play a couple of games on my phone, not often, but I kind of dip in and dip out of games
Yeah.
maybe a month or two, then I get rid of them. But the vast majority of them are like going, "Hey, go up to the next level, watch these 27 1 minute videos
Yeah.
before I can do anything else." And so
Yeah.
like it's like save the king with really bad acting, going, "Oh, I can't stop now. I need to go and save the king." It's
Oh
like,
my, or the pirate
so,
one. There's a pirate one as well because I play games on my phone. We're probably seeing the
okay,
very same ones. It's like really bad acting, and they all have the really
this game is
hot
brilliant.
pirate one
There's no
with the
adverts
tits
on
out.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, save me, Mr. Pirate.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of these videos, and on this actually wrecks my head as well, is the volume is loud and you're in the jack sets in the cubicle, because that's where you play most of our games. All you hear is,
Yeah,
ah,
yeah.
ooh, oh, baby. And
Oh,
that's the way the ads
oh,
are. And they're going,
I know.
and it's like, it's
Oh,
someone
Alan,
taking a
stop,
penalty from an
stop.
advert. It's like, oh, I can't wait to stick this in. And then he kicks the ball. Like, why,
Yeah,
why
I
isn't that
know.
on,
I
Joe?
know. It's to get your
Yeah,
attention,
yeah.
but when you're sitting on the jacks and work, that's the last thing you want people to hear. And it's funny because one of the ads now, so obviously I'm getting all the ads about calisthenics and chair yoga and blah, blah, blah. And one of them starts off with, I'm not joking, and you've probably heard it, is my daddy looks really hot for his age. And it's the guy who's old, my age, ripped, and they're saying, my dad. I'm like, fuck, scroll quickly, my daddy. Stop.
Scroll, if that's what you call masturbation these days.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
scroll
Listen,
harder
in
and
my
faster.
age, all you do is scroll. You can't tug. You, I've gone from tugs to scrolling. But yeah, from tugs to scrolling to saying
Yeah.
goodbye. Alan, you've been brilliant as always. Thank you so much, guys. Send us your stuff on head underscore right.
Jesus
And all of
Christ.
those. No, I gotta have to do this properly. Email us with your ideas and the stuff that's wrecking your heads and your comments on this podcast at thelads@headwreck.com.
And head underscore rect on all our social media.
We love you. Thank you for listening. This was a quick
Thank
one.
you.
See you soon.
Slow.
Bye.
Slán.
Bye.